What is the most historically significant event you witnessed in person? I sat on the roof of our house and watched Mount St. Helens erupt less than 100 miles away. Boston Marathon bombing. I was there and then part of the medical team, the tents at the finish line. I've worked in the medical tents for a decade now. The year it was super hot, the news came to do a piece about us and used me with a patient as their backdrop. My phone erupted as soon as they aired it. The tumbling of the wall in Germany, along with people selling bits and pieces of it on tables in lobby in front of commissary and PX. In the following weeks and months, I had picked up a chunk about the size of an Oreo and kept it. Has blue spray paint on the flat side. Wonder if anyone is buying them now? I was standing on my front porch watching the launch of the Challenger. 9/11, I could smell the collapse of the towers. I would have to say the LA riots. I lived about 2 blocks from where it started. I was on my way home from school and saw someone throw a brick through a window. I didn't even wait. I just started running the whole way home. I was in the crowd when RFK was shot. I was watching the first local news broadcast of "Hide your kids, hide your wife." 7 rows back ringside when Tyson chomped Holyfield's ear off, flushed. The B-52 crash that led to changing what large military aircraft are allowed to do for airshows. I didn't see the plane, but immediately saw the fireball. It was just a perfect bright red turning to black mushroom cloud. Fairchild is a nuclear airbase, and there were a few minutes there where I was sure the world was about to end. A few years before, a KC-135 doing the same thing crashed near the school while we were in class. The 3 Mile Island nuclear accident. I was a young newspaper reporter, 21 years old, standing outside the plant the morning of the accident when the workers evacuated. They refused to say what, if anything, was wrong. I was the first reporter on the scene, as I had been writing about the many previous problems at the plant. The morning started off as a local news story. By lunchtime, it was international news. There obviously were no cell phones. There was a single payphone in front of the plant's observation center where we all had to take turns phoning in our stories. I was delivering something to the Pentagon when the plane hit. That count? Not exactly. I was in class with the daughter of one of the pilots on 9/11 when she found out that her father had died. We all knew about the attacks already, and we knew her father was a pilot. So when her mother came in with the principal, we all knew why. It was without a doubt the most painful thing I've ever witnessed. The 1993 World Trade Center bombing. It's mostly forgotten now that the towers are gone, but it was a big deal back then. I remember riding across the Manhattan Bridge and looking towards the bay and thinking, well, it looks okay from here. I was a young, barely high school student when Marcos was overthrown in the Philippines. I was part of the People's Power along with my dad, mom and brothers. We didn't feel unsafe, but that night after Marcos left the Philippines, we learned that the military was close to using force on the people. My dad was alarmed and was glad we're finally home safe. Not sure why we went as a family, but at the time my parents felt being there was important enough. My parents are dead, and I know they're probably turning in their graves when Marcos' son was recently elected as president of the Philippines. I was on the freeway in CA in the 90s when a white Ford Bronco passed us, and then a whole lot of police cars. I was like 10. 1964 Good Friday earthquake, 9.2 Richter. Was a boy in Cordova, Alaska at the time. I accidentally got caught in that taxpayer march on Washington on September 12, 2009. First time I went to the Capitol. I just wanted to see Washington, D.C. since I moved to New Jersey a few months prior. I was at the Who concert in Cincinnati where all the people were trampled dead. I was within 6 feet of the pile of people that died. Space Shuttle Columbia first launch in April 1981.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.